played that Ben Johnson bite about, it's going to be an important week of practice. We gotta see, because he was disappointed with some guys. And it's not a large group. There's how many guys are there to pick from?
Not a lot.
He wasn't talking about Luther Burden, because Luther Burden was barely out there.
Yeah.
So Rome is having a great year, at least catching the ball. Is he saying that maybe he's got to keep thinking about blocking too on those plays? Is it DJ? And then the question becomes, you have Luther Burden, and a lot of people have had this theory before. You have Luther Burden, who is a similar type player to DJ. You have Rome establishing himself as the go-to wide receiver. You don't have enough targets for your 10th overall pick. Would the Bears, especially around the trade deadline, and especially if the season isn't going well, entertain a DJ Moore trade?
I think anything's possible for sure, especially with this coach who we don't know what his tendencies are. I think we're still learning him, and he's still learning his team. A couple of things real quick. First of all, I can hear people. I can't really, but sometimes I hear voices. I can hear him now, though. Guys, it's only the second game of the season. Listen, the reason why we're having these conversations is they're 0-2. They've won 15 games the last 3 years plus. They lost 52-21 on Sunday after absolutely collectively coughing up a one game at home. And by one, I don't mean O-N-E. I mean W-O-N.
Right.
That game was won. That's the type of game you have to win at home in the National Football League, albeit, again, against a division opponent. And then you go to Detroit, and two of your second-round picks from this year and a third-round pick from last year are inactive in favor of your lineman, in favor of a sixth-round pick this year and a free agent from last year. So that's why we're having a lot of these conversations. With regard to what Ben said, the first thing he said about the tight ends, you didn't draft Colston Loveland to be a blocker anyway. You drafted him to split him out, him be a dynamic downfield receiver as a tight end. So the fact that you're forced to, at times, bring him in to help chip and then possibly release because your tackles aren't playing well enough, that's not a good sign. You should have known that you had those tackle issues before you drafted a wide receiver and a tight end's body at 10, if that's the case. Not just that, but on tape, they did it much less against the Lions than they did against Minnesota. I understood Minnesota because they have a fierce front. Detroit's good, but they're not Minnesota up front, so it really wasn't, to me, it wasn't as big of an issue. I don't know what they're going to do there, but if you're going to draft a tight end 10th overall, there's a lot of football left. My guess is you're going to get him more involved than he has been so far. With regard to what he said, I love the fact that, he's talking about competition. Look, I mean, there are no sacred cows on this team. I don't care where you were drafted and whatever money you were given. You lost 52-21 and you blew a game the week before. Like, he's trying to turn over what has been a losing franchise. So if I'm a player up there, I'm not running scared, but I'm making sure I'm crossing my T's, dotting my I's, and making sure there are no plays on film that show me giving anything less than 110%, because my playing time is going to be in jeopardy if that's the case.
The problem is I've always wanted them to have a boatload of weapons. When Ryan Poles first took over, they had no weapons, and I feel like they failed Justin Fields early in his career with not having weapons. And then he was running for his life as well. And then you get DJ in the trade, and then slowly but surely, then you draft Rome, and then you pay Kmet, so he's entrenched here, and now you draft another one. Then you draft Burden, and Zacchaeus is a great buy. Like, one thing that Poles did well.
1 year, $1.5 million.
1 year, $1.5 million as a third wide receiver. As a perfect role player, third wide receiver. But, are there too many weapons there who aren't being utilized and too many needs elsewhere where you could use a higher pick? Like I asked you, could DJ get you a first-round pick?
I don't think he's getting you a first-round pick, but
Kansas
he would
City,
bring something in return.
Did you see Mahomes? Mahomes, if he wasn't running, there's not many guys. First of all, one guy suspended.
Rasheed Rice is not there.
And then what else do they really have? Hollywood Brown?
Well, you have Worthy, but he's got a shoulder issue now.
Would you call the Chiefs? Would you call a team like that early? Or is he a guy that you're just like, look, don't panic. You keep as many weapons as possible, and you let you let it all figure.
It will take care of itself over the course of time, is how I would respond. Who he's referencing, I don't know. We'd only be speculating. The only thing that I saw on film from the Detroit game that would chap his ass in terms of effort, and again, he's looking at it obviously different than I am. I think there was a wide receiver screen to Zacchaeus, and I thought both Rome and DJ did not really show an interest in taking care of the guys in front of him.
Yeah, no block, no rock, as you said to me in the meeting.
That's it. But I think DJ's played well this year through 2 games. Like, I think DJ has picked up his game after last year, it being a disappointing year for him. I think he's been involved, he's been engaged, and I've seen him, make plays. So I don't know where the coach is going with this, but I love listen, you all wanted to be held accountable last year.
Here you go.
So here's your accountability.
Tony and Joliet, you're on ESPN 1000. What's up, Tone?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
We're good.
First-time caller, love you guys.
Thank you.
To address your first point, because before I get into what I called for, Odunze has twice the touchdowns. Well, I think he has 3, and he has twice the catches. But I think DJ is one of those guys that catching the ball after the catch misutilized, because I think he is so much better than Odunze at this point. But the reason I called, guys, it's been a hard week living in Chicago, dealing with everything we deal with. We only get sporadic teams that do well. And as a fan, I was like, man, it hurts. It really hurts. But I was actually thinking, this is why I called. I love Waddle, man. I love you from the whole teams. I love you.
I love you too.
Man, I'm just saying, it's got to hurt so bad for you guys, because if the Bears are rolling and it's their great season, it's a great day to come in. If it stinks, fans can turn out. We don't have to listen to it. But you guys have to still have the same conversations over and over, hoping this happens for a team that has really only done it a couple times, and it's like I feel like the same replay, guys.
Yeah, but Tony, you can't. Don't shed any tears for us. We work on the playground here.
We're not out like third shifting, doing construction work.
I mean, we got it.
Woe
okay.
is us. We're okay, but we appreciate.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, man.
No. Look, like I said this yesterday too on the show that there are a lot of people, and I know sometimes I probably look at Twitter more than I should, or take a comment more literal than I should. That
it's poison there.
It is like,
and getting
Silvy,
worse by the day.
This just fits your narrative, or Silvy, this is good for clicks. Like, we've been on the air. I would hope that the people who listen to our show understand that we want this team to win. We're sick of doing losing shows. We're sick of wanting changes.
We're the home of the new Bears.
Yes, we're both. I'm a diehard fan. Waddle played for the team, and he's now a huge fan and has been since he retired from football. But to think like that there's a narrative.
No.
Our narrative would be we want the Bears to win. And we're trying to think of how they can do better and get a better process going so they can execute that finally.
Listen, my job isn't to pump anybody's tires. I don't even know what my job description is, but my thought is that I'm here to give you my views of what I see and my response to what I see. And that's all I can do for you. I wish I could sit here and tell you that, hey, I'm looking at a team that's going to win 15 games. I'm seeing a ton of good rather than a ton of bad. That tide has not turned yet.
No.
Again, fellas and gals, this defense has given up 680 yards and 73 points in the last 5 quarters.
You want to know how Bears fans are tuning out? This is from Nick Harris. Nick Harris, I guess, covers the Cowboys. And I heard Bleck allude to this on Carmen and Yurko earlier. You better get ready for like a neutral site game on Sunday. Nick Harris, who covers the Cowboys, tweets, the crowd at Soldier Field for Cowboys-Bears on Sunday is expected to be 53-47 in favor of the Bears. 53% Bears fans, 47% Cowboys fans. That's according to Vivid Seats, ticket analysis, and fan forecast.
Boy, that's unlike something. That's new. That's a new phenomenon, isn't it?
Well, the Lions fans took over last year. George took note of that. Cowboys fans, we know they're everywhere. Like, they're not from Dallas. They're a nationwide team. There are many Cowboys who live within Chicago who root for the Cowboys. And Nick says it's the most in-demand ticket across the NFL for Week 3 with an average ticket price of $5.97. Bears fans who have consistently bought tickets are thinking to themselves, we're coming off a 52-21 loss or whatever it was. We pay all this money for tickets. They're 0-2 again. I can get top dollar for my seat for selling it for one game because it's in such demand. So, like, George will hear it. George will see the effects. Yes, it's only 2 games, but it's enough games for people to say, we're selling to Cowboys fans. And look, when the Bears go to Dallas, we know how Bears fans travel. When we go to Vegas, it will be a big time crowd for the Bears. But
I would suggest to the folks up at Hallis Hall, change the narrative.
Yeah, I
Go
can't
out
blame
there
the
Sunday
fans.
and change the narrative. And look, this is a great opportunity for Ben Johnson and his offense to prove themselves. Your defense is all banged up. Your top 3 players are out. Jalen Johnson, out. More than likely, T.J. Edwards, probably out, right? I mean, if I had
Week
to
to
guess.
week, yes.
Kyler Gordon, probably out. Your pass rush has not been very good, and that's an offense that can move the football. Defensively, obviously no Micah Parsons, and Deron Bland is not going to play. They're Pro Bowl caliber cornerback. This is an opportunity for the offense to say, hey, guys, guess what? We got your back here. This is an opportunity for us to carry the heavy load here, the heavy responsibility, because this is a matchup that we should be able to take advantage of at home. And we know you're hurting. We also know you don't get to quarterbacks very frequently. We'd like to see you do that more often. But we know you got some injuries, and you're licking your wounds right now. So we got your back. That's how teams function. Good teams function. So this is an opportunity for this offense to go out there and kind of make an early statement and try to right the ship a little bit and get the backs of their fellow defensemen.
Yeah, Matt and Streamwood, you're on ESPN 1000. What's up, Matt?
Hey, Waddle. Silvy, thanks for taking my phone call. Waddle, I don't want you to get mad at me, but at what point does this team need to have, as you used to say before, a come-to-Jesus meeting with everybody in its personnel, especially the established veterans like DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, Montez Sweat, Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, and just come to say what happened last year in Detroit and what happened last year in Washington needs to be resolved. It is already spilling over this new season, and I hate for this team to go 0-4 into the bye, and Ben Johnson thinking that, well, no, nothing, he doesn't want to talk about what happened last year. They need to talk about what happened last year and get past it because it's still affecting this year. This team has lost 12 out of 13 games since that Washington game. And it just seems that it doesn't get better. And that Green Bay win last year was a fluke because they pulled most of the starters.
Well, Matt,
so
I'm not going to get mad at you for it. I think everything you say is valid. I'm not so sure that these conversations aren't happening. I think they are. I think you heard the head coach basically reference we're going to have competition this week.
Coming out of a training camp where there was competition.
Yeah, I mean, I don't resist any of that conversation at all. I think you've heard, if you read some of the quotes from Grady Jarrett, that's why Grady was brought here, to be a leader. And Grady's like, look, this is unacceptable, and this is something that we're going to address inside the locker room. I think those conversations are going to be had. But at the end of the day, your coaches can prepare you, to take advantage of what you do well. You can say all you want to say. Your leaders can step forward and deliver a positive message and an important message. You have to execute. And they just haven't had a good history, whether it's present in 2025 or going back the last couple of years. They have not executed collectively enough to win football games.
All right, more of your phone calls coming up. We also have the Benny's Toast of the Game. We will take out a positive from this game. Well, more of your phone calls coming up. And don't forget, on Thursday, I'll be out at Rizzo's, Clark and Waveland from 7 to 9. Your chance to qualify to win the big trip to Cincinnati. It's flight, hotel, tickets to the game in Cincy on November 2nd. So come on out on Thursday to Rizzo's in Wrigleyville.